the number one question that came back was from a lot of women, and it said what to put on their face to remove lines.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know what your answer is going to be around this. It probably has something to do with besides just putting something on your face, but with the look of aging, what helps with that?
Yeah, well, so I have a fair number of VIP clients who are asking me these same questions. The good news is that if you do what I do, probably what's happening is your whole body will stay healthier and younger, and your skin is a very large organ, if not the largest. So you can start on the inside. You don't need to slather yourself with stuff. I don't know, you can judge me. I'm 51, so I haven't got a gray hair yet, and I don't think I've lost much either. So, that's what we call an N of 1 clinical trial, not exactly helpful, but I do believe that you should start on the inside. And you can apply things from the outside. The easiest thing to do is just avoid the sun. I grew up in Australia, unfortunately, when it was fashionable to get burnt. That's going to come back to haunt me. So avoid the sun. Take vitamin D. That's also very good long-term for health and the skin. There's retinol, which actually does work. I would say that's something that a lot of people already know. There are creams that are purported to raise NAD levels. NAD is a molecule we work on in my lab, and that's the fuel for these sirtuins that I've talked about, these longevity genes. And actually, as we get older, the NAD levels in the skin go down by about twofold. So in my 50s, I'm 51, as I said, I would have roughly half the levels as I did when I was 20. So maybe you can raise the levels of NAD in the skin with a cream. Instead, I take a pill that raises my NAD levels. I talk about it in the book, page 304, if you want to learn all that stuff. I think it's possible to slow aging in the skin, and then if that doesn't work, there's always the other cosmetic stuff. But, I think you want to start early in life. Once you're in your 30s, when I started, it's a long-term program. You cannot expect to start at 45 and instantly reverse the effects.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say it started from the inside out. There's not a whole lot of magic effects that actually takes. But people want the fix all. They just want to fix it and look young immediately. But I'm curious with that and with skin in general. What do you know about red light therapy around the skin and producing mitochondria as well?
Yeah, I think it's got legs as a scientist. I tried to extend the lifespan of nematode worms with this red light in my lab. It didn't work, but I haven't given up on it yet. I think there's something to the red light therapy. There's some reasonable data on hair growth from this. So probably there's something going on, but it's really not well studied. We need a lot more. I've seen that you can buy these red lights. Someone even sent me one, to be honest. I haven't used it much, but I think that there's good reason to think that certain wavelengths could trigger your body into a hormesis effect. I think where I stand on that is we need more research, but I doubt that it's doing harm.
Right. So I'm curious because you said something, I want to get really clear on it. You said avoid the sun. Now, do you mean completely avoid the sun, or do you mean, avoid getting burned? Because a lot of people are going to be like, he said, don't go out, so I'm not going to go out.
Yeah.
But I've also heard that having at least some sunlight triggers, turns on or off like 300 switches inside of your brain and your body and all of this stuff. So with sunlight and getting the vitamin D from sunlight, but also taking it as you recommended, what is your recommendation around sunlight?
Yeah, well, disclaimer, I don't recommend stuff, but what I can tell you is that...
That's right. No recommendations. What does the science say around sunlight?
Yeah, thank you, Rob. Thanks for bringing that up. Maybe I misspoke. What I meant to say was don't stay in the sun long enough for there to be irreversible damage. So a little bit of sunlight is good. I walk out. I haven't been out that much because it's middle of winter here in Boston. But yeah, some sunshine is fine, but don't do it for... more, it depends on the UV, but I would these days, because I'm, pasty as much as a vampire would be, I don't want to spend more than half an hour out there in the sun. That's enough. But think of it as a competition between DNA damage. What's happening with the sunlight is your DNA gets cross-linked, and your body has to come in and take out those cross-links and put a new piece of DNA in. And your body takes time to do that. And the older you get, the worse it gets, the slower it is. And it's a balance of damage, repair, damage, repair. And if you don't repair it, you get mutations and epigenetic changes too, don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like to do is get a bit of sun. It's healthy for sure. You get a bit of a tanning effect too. But if you stay red, you've overdone it. Your body can't cope and it's got inflammation. So limit it. But, I wasn't trying to say live in your basement for the rest of your life. I'm eager to get out. This pandemic has been pretty harsh on myself and all of us.